Saturday Social is powered by EA Sports FIFA 23 with PlayStation.
Speaking of World Cup, we asked our guests to give us their World Cup, not predictions, these are the awards, looking back on them. So there's a series of awards that we've asked them to pick a category for. So let's have a look at the categories first of all, and we'll see what they've gone with. So as you can see, we've asked them to give us their best player, best young player, best moment, a player that gets a move, best fans and best manager from the tournament. So standout player, the person that's going to win the best player of the tournament. Spencer, you've gone Lionel Messi. Rory, you've gone Antoine Griezmann. Two players that feature in the final, of course. Why you gone Messi, Spence?
Well, I think it all comes down to who wins the final, ultimately. I think if Messi wins it, he gets it. I think there's a storyline there, and it's for good reason. There's no sort of prejudice or anything, but I think he will win it if Argentina win it. If they don't, I think he then goes to France. I think Griezmann, if he has a standout final, gets it. I think Mbappe could get it. I think it's 3 or 4 names in the hat still. But I think, as I predicted Argentina to just win the final, then Messi's the man that gets it.
It will be someone who wins, you think, wouldn't it? And you've gone with France to win it. So, by that logic, you think Griezmann's been their best player?
Yes, I think Griezmann has been the tournament's best player. I think he's just been exceptional. I really do. Because not only has he been this good, but he's been this good in a position that I've never seen him play before. Like he's playing deep, he's creating, he's doing his fair share of defensive work. I think he's integral to that team. I think if you take any player out of the French team, they're probably okay. If you take Griezmann out, they're knackered.
You know, he's got 4 goals and 3 assists in 12 appearances for France at the last 2 World Cups. He's also, like you were talking about his defensive duties, he's their 3rd all-time scorer, which goes under the radar a bit because Giroud's obviously broken Henry's record. But it goes to show what Rory's saying. He offers so much to that team.
Do you think it's possible, though, for him to win it with Mbappe in the team? Like, I feel like even if Mbappe doesn't score in the final and kind of goes to the final and France win it 1-0 with a Giroud goal, Mbappe still wins.
I think it depends on the performances. I think Rory could have a shout there. I think if Griezmann just steps it up and Mbappe does go missing, which I think is unlikely, but I feel like Griezmann could win it. That's definitely in the hat, 100%. You know, I think you talk about, he's top goal scorer at the Euros as well for them in 2016. So I do think that he's been an amazing servant for France. I think if you're talking about the year and all that, the Ballon d'Or conversation, then that's going to go towards Mbappe if they win it. But I think for the World Cup, Rory could be right.
Let's go to your next award then, which is the best young player of the World Cup. And you've both gone for Jude.
Yeah, and we've been talking about this just now, haven't we? It's like, will he actually win it based on the fact that England have exited in the quarterfinals? There's a chance he doesn't. There's a few other names you could throw in there, but maybe we're looking at this with England tinted spectacles. But he was just such a shining light for us, I think, and the age he is. And it's not just the fact that he's 19. It's the other nominees are probably people that could win it. That maybe so Enzo Fernandez, whoever, might have that extra year, 2 years on him. You know, like Rory said earlier, he could even win it potentially in the next World Cup, which I think is crazy. So. Look, we've got to shout him out. We've got to give the guy some praise. Will he win it? I don't know if anyone's ever won it that's gone out that early before.
Yeah, I think he'd be my shout because I think he's a jewel in the crown of this England team, and I love him and I love what he's going to become. Enzo Fernandez, though, particularly if Argentina do end up winning the tournament, the change, Enzo Fernandez coming into that team was so significant for Argentina's upward trajectory. Yeah. So I think it could possibly go to Fernandez, but I think that we had to give it to Jude.
Yeah. OK, fair enough. Next one was best moment. Now, I like this because there have been some exciting moments this World Cup. A lot of upsets, particularly in the group stage.
Huge upsets.
You've both gone for moments against Argentina, interestingly. Spencer's gone with Saudi Arabia. I mean, that's got to go down as one of the biggest upsets in World Cup history. Saudi Arabia 2, Argentina 1. What a moment. Rory, I like this shout as well. Vetko's goal against Argentina. That cost us 101st minute goal to complete the turnaround. Last kick of the game, took it to extra time, of course. He also did that. A lot of people on Twitter point out that he did a similar free kick in 2020 with Wolfsburg. Why did you go for that one? Just because of the jubilation of that moment?
Yeah, I love a well-worked, clever, cunning.
Genius, wasn't it?
Yeah, I love that kind of goal. And the fact that he's done it before added something to it. And yeah, I just have an awful lot of love for those moments. There was a brilliant one. I sort of ended up watching that goal and then going back. There's a brilliant one in 1970 that Bulgaria score against Peru. Like, really clever free kick.
Funny you should say that because we've got it.
No, but I just thought... And do you know what it did? Obviously, because of the magnificence of the occasion, I didn't really care. When I was watching that game, I didn't have a dog in the fight. I didn't particularly care who won. When it went in, and I actually celebrated. Like, I went crazy when that got... I went crazy. It was such a good moment.
And Spence, yours speaks for itself, doesn't it, that moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a shame from a Saudi Arabia perspective that they obviously peaked there, but I think it's because they put so much energy into that performance. You know, the first half, if you watch the game, it was like a matter of time how many goals are Argentina going to score. They're playing that high line, and it was offside goals, etc., etc. You're thinking it's going to be a bloodbath.
It was
second
3 goals disallowed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was crazy. But then second half, I don't think I've ever seen such a hard-fighting defensive performance across the board. The goalkeeper, the centre halves, the fullbacks, you could see how much it meant to them. They all got, I think, bought a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, I know. They didn't do
well.
too badly off the back of it. They're heroes in their
yeah.
country. That was the ultimate game of two halves, that as well.
Yeah,
Argentina
genuinely.
absolutely dominated.
I think we should shout out as well the moment that Germany and Spain were both going out for about 6 minutes when Costa Rica went 2-0.
South Korea beating Portugal for South Korea as well was a massive moment as well.
Absolutely.
But,
let's get on to the next one then. And this is a player that's going to get a move off the back of the World Cup. Now, we're trying to avoid some of the big names like Jude Bellingham, who we all know is going to get a move anyway because he's a stunningly good player. But somebody who's really put the spotlight on themselves. The players we've gone for here, Spencer, you've gone for Gonzalo Ramos. Rory, you've gone for Azzedine Ounahi, the Moroccan centre-mid.
I think he just needs to get a move now. I think he's so good. I think the way that he played, particularly in that semi-final, it was just exemplary. I love the approach that he has. So combative, so good on the ball, and he would be a credit to any team. I mean, he's a Premier League player in waiting, I believe.
Yeah, and he's currently sat bottom of Ligue 1, 22 years old with Angers. So you would think that there is potential there to take.
What's
him
great
for
about
quite
that is exactly, shouldn't cost too much, right? I think my shout isn't going to be cheap, Ramos, but to come on the scene and do what he did, hat-trick, I think it was only his first start. I think it was his first start for Portugal. He played like 25 minutes for them before that. He'd already scored some goals, by the way. Like, his ratio is a joke. Comes on, scores a hat-trick, gets an assist as well, all in the shadow of Ronaldo. You know, when you come on, you've got to think about this. Like, this is your country's icon, arguably along with the likes of Eusebio, your best ever player. You've benched him as an individual. Think about the pressure that is on that. He was 21, I think, 21. His shoulders, and to come in and do that, and the way he hit the ball, even that first one, that left-footed strike in the roof of the net, it's just unreal. And I've never seen a rival at a World Cup stage like that before.
I think
he's got to go somewhere.
More cameras on Ronaldo on the bench than there was replays of the actual goal. It was unbelievable. You're right about his goal ratio, though. 4 goals and 2 assists in 6 caps for Portugal. And he only made his senior debut in a friendly against Nigeria in November. And he's still the only player to score a hat-trick in this World Cup.
And he's flying for Benfica. I think they haven't lost the game in any competition. He scored 9 goals.
Yeah. Next category was best fans. Now, Rory, you're very well placed to answer this. Well, you're both well placed, but obviously you were in Qatar and you went to a lot of games and you travelled with some Argentinian fans and you've gone for Argentina, so why them?
Their fans blew me away. Their fans genuinely blew me away. Like, when I arrived, the day that I arrived was the day that Argentina played Poland, and I effectively went straight from the airport to that game. And I was travelling there, and I was being a little bit snide, but I was kind of going there as a slight Poland fan.
Right.
Until I'd been on the Tube network there for about 3 minutes and felt the euphoria and jubilation and passion on display from Argentina support. It's so creative. The songs, the numbers, the volume of Argentinian fans that had made the pilgrimage to Qatar blew my mind. You know, like, I always think England fans travel well, but Argentina had a minimum 25,000 in the stadium every time. Best travelling by far
of anyone in Qatar.
Of anyone in Qatar. Morocco had an awful lot of support as well, but Argentina definitely had the most amount of numbers. And then it's the songs. You know, the songs are so passionate. They're singing about Diego Maradona in heaven with his father, who's also passed away, and he's reunited with his father, watching this game and guiding Lionel Messi to their third. And they're haunted by the finals that they've lost. It's like verse after verse of passionate songs. Meanwhile, we're singing about Harry Maguire having a massive head. You know, like
he does that.
Their support is just. I've never known anything like it.
I think the final is probably going to be about 95%. It's like going to be like Bombonera in there, isn't it?
It will.
Final.
And you agreed. You went.
No, I mean, Rory's got much better experience of it than I have. But from watching from afar and the description of it, it reminds me. It sounds like the description I've experienced of what I saw in Dortmund, which is you go there and the fans don't stop throughout the whole of half time before the game. It's just an absolute party the whole time. Yeah. And that is what they've brought to this World Cup, among many other things. So I think it's an easy shout.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to your last category and let's fly through this one. It is best manager. Spencer, you've gone for Morocco's Walid Regragui, and Rory, you've gone for Louis van Gaal. Spence.
Listen, I've been a big Walid Regragui, is it? I've been a big fan of his for a long time. Listen, he's come on the scene, hasn't he? And genuinely come on the scene this World Cup. He's only been manager for like 5 weeks, whatever it is. His record's a joke. Before that France game, he'd only conceded a goal to his own player. West Ham's Aguero scored the own goal. And that's a team that was in somewhat of disarray. You know, Ziyech wasn't going to play. He didn't get on with the old manager. New manager comes in, brings the sort of star player, if you like, Ziyech back in the mix, who was very important. We didn't talk about him in the mix earlier, but equally important for Morocco. And you've got to give the man credit. I've seen this clip of him on an Arteta sort of tactical meeting, learning about how, just trying to learn about being. He was managing in the Moroccan Premier League last year.
I think he's won it with 2 different clubs as well, Moroccan Premier League.
Yeah,
and
so you talk about people that could get a move. Could he get a move?
And just quickly, you've gone Louis van Gaal.
I've gone for Van Gaal, almost for the romanticism and love of the game. Like, you've got to think of his contribution to this World Cup. During the day, he's having training sessions with his Dutch team. During the night, he's having radiotherapy. Like the man is a hero as far as I'm concerned, and the love that he demonstrated to his country and to the World Cup and to the game, to commit himself whilst he's got so much else going on. I think there would have been a lovely story had he gone a bit further.
Well said.